prepared all of the meat for grinding by removing all the fat, sinew, and gristle and cutting it into the small cubes that's required for the grinder, we're ready to load the hopper. You basically take all of your meat and put it into the hopper. I purposely have not put any of the meat down into the chute of the hopper for grinding at this point in time because I have not turned on the grinder. I am now going to turn on the grinder, and I'm going to start feeding meat down the chute of the grinder. As you will notice, the meat is already starting to be ground, and I haven't even used the stopper to force the meat through the chute into the grinder itself. That's due to the technological advantage that we have by having the big bite auger. You continue to feed all of the meat down the chute of the grinder, and you'll notice all of the meat is coming out of the grinder on the coarse grind. We have now completed our first grind using the coarse meat. At this time, we're ready to start the process of replacing the plate for our second and fine grind. At this point in time, some people like to season their meat so that when they grind it a second time, the seasoning is better mixed into the meat, but that's really due to personal preference and can be mixed and added at a later point in time. So now we take our fine plate, we remove the collar, pull out our coarse grinding plate, replace it with the fine grinding plate, put the collar back on, and you're ready to start your second and final grind. You will basically take the meat out of the meat lug, place it in your hopper, feed the meat down through the throat, and you will notice that it is coming out the head of the grinder in a fine grind that you will use as a final grind. I'm now going to start the second part of actually filling game bags during our second grind. This is another accessory that LEM sells. It's a 2-inch aluminum stuffing tube. It's ideal to use during your second grind and to fill game bags. For storage of ground meat or ground beef or ground venison, LEM also sells wild game bags, which John's going to come here and help me demonstrate, because this is really a two-man job. You slide the wild game bags over the collar of the stuffing tube, and you slide it pretty much all the way up onto the stuffing tube, because what will happen is when I turn on the grinder and the meat starts coming out, it will start filling up the back of the stuffing tube first. These are 1-pound wild game bags. So we had the wild game bag on the stuffing tube, and I'm now going to turn on the grinder and feed the meat through the chute into the grinder for our second grind and filling up the wild game bag. We've now filled up our wild game bag. We have a 1-pound marker on the outside of the wild game bag. You then twist the wild game bag. You take our spring-loaded pliers, seal it off, and you're ready to put it in the freezer for storage.
Weston, the same things that drive you drive us. We value freshness, flavor, and knowing exactly where our food came from. Weston's professional series of electric grinders can process 4 to 18 pounds per minute, depending on which model you choose. The line ranges from a half horsepower model to a 2 horsepower model, which are rated from 375 to 1500 watts. All models have an offset head design for easy loading and are made with precision engineered stainless steel gears that let you handle your game with speed, power, and rugged durability. The professional line of grinders features a permanently lubricated, air-cooled motor and a 5-year limited warranty, giving you the peace of mind that our grinders will be there for you next hunting season and many more to come. With a built-in knife sharpener, convenient carry handle, and nested accessory tray, it includes all the accessories you need to process your food and keeps them close at hand. It's easy to clean because it's a snap to take apart. It comes with 2 grinding plates, coarse and medium, so you can make any kind of sausage or patty you like. Speaking of sausages, it also comes with a sausage stuffing kit that'll make your grilling buddies completely jealous and beg for seconds. Weston's professional series of grinders give you the control you expect over your food processing. We help you process, preserve, and prepare the bounty of nature so you can be sure that your food will have the best flavor and nourishment for your family. At Weston, it's our pleasure to be there with you as you bring the field and farm to your table.